Good morning, everyone. Dan Cook here, Dan the Funnel Man. All right, LIVEISH at FIVEISH. Very excited to see you all. All right, I am today. We're talking about the next step in the One Funnel Away challenge. Today, Russell and Steven are talking about the origin story. This is another huge video, another very, very important set of videos for you to be learning from if you want to sell the way Russell Brunson sells. And why would you not want to sell the way a man who can make $3 million in 90 minutes sells? Of course you do. So do I. And so we watch this video and you learn about the origin story. It's your origin story. Yesterday we talked about the Epiphany Bridge, all right? The bridge of learning, where you discovered, oh my goodness, this, boom, you're just hit with this awareness, this realization of how you can move forward, how you can change, how you can take another approach to a problem that you're having. That Epiphany Bridge, transferring that emotion, that story to another person, is how you'll get that person to be a customer. That person will buy from you when they realize you're just like them. Hey, not long ago you were right where I was. Now I'm going to pay attention to your story. I'm going to listen to what you're saying. Okay, so if your journey is maybe one of like weight loss, if you look good now, or if I'm selling this, okay, this is how you know this is pure fiction. If I look, young and thin and healthy now, you'd be like, wow, how does he do that? And I could show you. I could say, well, not long ago I was just like you. I weighed 40 pounds more than this 90 days ago, and I'm going to show you how I did that, how I changed my life, how I changed my health, how I added 20 years of enjoying time with my family and with my friends simply because of some changes I made over the course of 90 days. I'm going to teach you how to do that. All right, and if people know that I was just like them before, they're going to say, they're going to pay attention. They're going to listen to that external story. And this is another day where it would just help a ton if you have Expert Secrets in your hand. That book, Russell goes in so deeply into this Epiphany Bridge and origin story in that book. It's fascinating. So I'll put a link below if you want to get that book. But on this page, okay, I don't have my glasses on, page 114, all right, he specifically breaks down the Epiphany Bridge story, and a few pages later breaks down the questions that are specifically asked to get through the script, okay? And that's what's great and easy about today. Russell Brunson has taken this incredibly complicated and difficult concept of look at your backstory, look at your life, assess where you were and how you got here, and look at the challenges you faced, the conflicts you faced, the decisions you had to make to get from where you were to where you are now. Encapsulate all that. Additionally, explain not only the external changes that happened. You lost 40 pounds. You look different in your clothes. You're moving around more. You have more energy. All these external things, but the internal changes as well. I went from a person who felt terrible about the way I looked, and now I feel confident. I went from a person who was always worried about being unhealthy and would I live long enough to walk my daughter down the aisle kind of thing, and to a person who's going to be there. I'm going to see my grandkids graduate high school. What's the internal story? Why did you do this? Okay, I don't know who said it, but it's a great quote. It said, you can endure almost any how if you have a strong enough why. Okay, you can live almost any tough life, endure almost any conflict or hardship if the reason you're doing that is strong enough. All right, so today the origin story is what Russell is saying. Hey, the first thing you publish is going to be your origin story. That's a little rough. That's a little rough, man, because there's a lot that goes into this, and you need to think about it, where you're going to go, and just very, real quick, you're gonna need your backstory. You're gonna have to think back on where you kind of came from. You're gonna look at where you were and what changes you wanted to make, again, externally as well as internally. And you're gonna have to create some empathy. Okay, you're gonna have to get the listener to say to themselves, "Wow, I'm gonna listen to you because you were where I was." I mean, it's sometimes difficult to listen to, the super rich, or the or people you feel like have always looked good, and try to get them to say that they were in the same boat as me. I don't know if you've ever seen those episodes of talk shows where they're like, "Oh, there's supermodels who have trouble finding a date." Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know if you're exactly like me, But still, if you can create that empathy, people weren't always who they are today, somebody like who's really good at this is Ryan Reynolds. Look for him on YouTube talking about when he was young and trying to talk to girls and stuff. I mean, he's like the perfect leading man right now. Funny, good-looking guy, but he just talks about his awkwardness a lot when he was young. It's great, and you can empathize. You're like, that guy. I'm just like Ryan Reynolds was. I'm not at all like Ryan Reynolds is now, but I'm just like he was, And I guess maybe I can get here, maybe, That's what you want. You want to put that hope into the customer that, yes, they can achieve what you have achieved, okay, and where you are. You want to fill them with that hope. So it's really good stuff. So you create that empathy, and then you've got your external desire. I want to lose weight. I want to get healthier, and your internal desire. I want to do these things because it matters to me to be there for my family when they're older. These are all internal reasons why you did what you did, and you're trying to convey that and impart that to your listener so that they will say, "I can do it too." And carry them along. You're going to take people through the story because that's what you did. How'd you start out? What did you do that just wasn't working? And then you have your epiphany. Oh, if I adjust what I'm eating to a keto diet, I can completely change my life. And then you start progressing that way. Okay, and you start moving forward with the new epiphany, and things are looking up until, boom, you hit another conflict. Okay, it could be anything. It could be, I was moving forward, and then I realized that there's a lot of prep involved. There's a lot of, I need to be ready, and my life is not built like that. And that's when I realized that it was actually easier to be more efficient, and then I ended up losing the weight, and I also ended up understanding that by paying more attention to me, it wasn't being selfish, it was being efficient, and being efficient got me to lose the weight, and now I'm on a healthy path. And that's what I want you guys to understand, and that's what my course is going to teach you, and for only $297, blah blah blah. Okay, the origin story is very powerful because we want to relate to other people. We want to see that it's possible. All right, how many books are just filled with the history of what's gone before? Why do we do that? Why do we care? Why don't we just get out there and take our swing and do what we can? And it's because we learn from other people's mistakes. This is how we've learned. This is how we've always learned. It is so primal. It is so hardwired in each of us to look to someone else and say, "Can I do that too?" And that can be anything from losing weight on a keto diet to something as primal as, "Can I do that too? Can I make a spear out of a stick and kill a saber-toothed tiger and feed my family for 3 weeks?" Okay, this is as old as this origin story, this passing on of knowledge from one person to another, or in today's age, from one person to millions of people at a time. So the origin story is extremely powerful, and it's extremely interesting, and it's going to take you time to dig deep and figure it out, but it's going to be really exciting for you. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you come out the other side feeling confident about it. So again, Russell mentions that this is the first thing you'll publish, and a lot of you might say, "Well, I'm going to be terrible. I've never told a story like this or anything." You know what? That's okay. And this is totally what I have discovered as well, which is what Russell points out, which is that it's okay if your old videos are terrible. It's okay if your old podcasts are no good, because when people do discover you down the line and say, wow, yeah, Dan Cook, Dan the Funnel Man, he knows what he's talking about. He's been there. I pay attention to him. You're gonna go back and look at the old stuff, and you're gonna say, he was really bad too. This is fantastic. All right, because it builds that empathy. People, I'm not saying I'm anywhere that anybody wants to be, but one day I will be. And people will look back at these videos and say, look at that guy. Look what he's done now. I can do that too. I'll be an inspiration. I'm looking forward to that. And so it's okay if your old stuff is bad. Don't worry about that. Right now is the time to do it when, there's only 4 people watching. That's the time to practice. Okay, so figure out your origin story. Watch Steven's video. He goes through a lot of this stuff step by step and breaks it down like a formula. He talks about his video yesterday where, he talked about having that book and that type of thing. Very interesting videos today. Very good stuff. All right, but you got to get publishing and you got to get your origin story together. Start putting it together. All right, but you're going to do great. If you make a video or anything like that, post a link below. I'd love to take a look at it. I'm very interested to see that stuff, and it'll be great. All right, so cool. I'm going to roll out, but you have yourself a great rest of your day. Be very productive. To everyone here in the States, a very, very happy Independence Day Eve, and be careful tomorrow. But we'll be live-ish at 5-ish tomorrow. We're going to be up here, and we don't take holidays off anymore. All right, take care.